Okay. So we will start the meeting. Myself, Dr. Kumar, the General Secretary of the Green Energy Forum and Vice Chairman of the World Malayali Council India region. Respected Professor V.K. sir, President Green Energy Forum, Dr. P.M. Nair, IPS retired, President of the World Malayali Council India region, Sri N.S. Sajid, Chief General Manager, IRE Limited, Lebasar, invited speakers, WMC office bearers, Global Treasurer Shashumar Nair, members of the Green Energy Forum, teachers and students and dignitaries. The theme of the Earth Day 2025 is Our Power, Our Planet. This year's campaign pushes for a fast, fair transition to renewable energy, advocating for inclusive solutions that benefit everyone, not just the privileged few. World Earth Day reminds us of our responsibility to protect our planet from environmental harm. Reducing carbon emission is highly essential for mitigating the climate change and its devastating impacts, preventing rising global temperatures and extreme weather events, reducing sea level rise, improving public health by decreasing air pollution, creating a sustainable and resilient planet for future generations. As we celebrate the 55th Earth Day, we gather to discuss crucial strategies for accelerating our transition to renewable energy and achieving carbon neutrality. This colloquium brings together experts and stakeholders to explore practical approaches to address climate change through renewable energy adoption. So, my major responsibility is welcoming the guests. I take this opportunity to welcome Professor V.K. sir, President of the Green Energy Forum, on behalf of the organizers and on my own behalf. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. P.M. Nair, IPS retired former DGP, President of the World Malayali Council. He is attending the program in spite of his busy schedule. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of the organizers. Sri N.S. Sajid, Chief General Manager, IRE Limited, is attending this program. I take this opportunity to welcome Sri N.S. Sajid on behalf of the organizers.
Thank you.
I take this opportunity to welcome our Lebasar and invited speakers. All the invited speakers, Ms.Sonai, Desai, Managing Editor, ESC News.Earth, Dr. Mumbai, Engineer Er.Sarto Rajendran, Correspondent and Managing Trustee, Guardian Foundation, Chennai, Dr.Jayaraman C, Managing Director, EQUINOCT, Kochi, Dr.TR Vinod, Program Director, Climate Change Studies, CED, Thiruvananthapuram. Many the World Malayali Council office bearers and members, and Green Energy Forum office bearers and members, teachers, students, and various dignitaries in this program. I welcome you all to this program. So I request Professor V.K. sir to introduce to give the keynote speech and introduce the speakers and be the moderator of this program. Thank you, sir.
I think we will first have the session on pledge. And
Yes.
Here we have 3 pledges, one representing Green Energy Forum, which will be done by me, which will be followed by Dr. P.M. Nair, World Malayali Council India Region President. Then it will be followed by Sri N.S. Ajit, Chief General Manager of Indian Drivers Limited, India. Chandra. So each pledge will be 3 minutes. It is not in the form of a pledge, but we will actually give you the commitment of each one of these organizations who are parties to holding this Energy Day webinar in 2025. So as the first person, I will just start with Green Energy Forum. Green Energy Forum is actually a forum of professionals, very experienced people, not only in the engineering profession, but in various other areas, science, culture, language, all but interested seriously and committedly for reaching carbon neutral ends through following a carbon neutral living, aiming at environmental sustainability. So this being the objective, our main focus is the students who are in schools and in colleges, all kinds of colleges, including professional colleges. So we are actually establishing green energy student movement among the students, initially right now in Kerala, and more actively in Kollam and Alappuzha districts through a project actually funded by IRE Limited under their CSR scheme. So this we are actually utilizing to encourage students to come out with innovations which will lead to solving problems related to environment in the local regions. So this way, our main focus is on students, that is the next generation. In addition to this, we are also interacting with the local governments like panchayats, municipalities, and corporations, where elected representatives who actually plan, design, and implement development projects in the local areas. They are actually interacted to have a carbon neutral focus to all their planning in all their development activities. So this is a kind of a very free and friendly interaction with the elected representatives who are very keen to listen to such things. And we hope this will also bring a change in the development scenario in the state. And the third program that we do is actually we train students as well as public in green auditing their own areas, their own institutions, mainly with students and more so in the colleges. So this is again another moment where we are actually helping the state and the people to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050 as far as Kerala is concerned, and 2070 as far as whole of India is concerned. So these are our activities, and we are committed very strongly to these activities. And I think this is a salute to Earth, what we are actually celebrating today since 1970, and achieved such a dimension all over the world. So with this pledge, I stop my part of it, and may I invite Dr. P.M. Nair of the World Malayali Council to offer their pledge.
Namaskaram to everybody, each one. I'm so happy to be part of this important event. I'm grateful to Dr. Ratna Kumar for having initiated the dialogue and brought such esteemed experts in the group. Since many are non-Malayalam speaking, I think we would rather continue our dialogue in English. World Malayali Council is a non-profit and a philanthropical organization of Malayali by birth or by marriage or by living or all sort of things. Anybody can be a Malayali if you live in Kerala or have something to do with Kerala. So all sort of people are there in this group. But it's interesting, they registered in US. Mr. Gopala Pillai is the global chairperson. Mr. John Mathai is the Gopala Pillai is based in US. Mathai is based in Dubai. Christopher based in Bangalore is secretary. Mr. Shashikumar is based in Trivandrum is the treasurer. Like that, you have global body. Then you have India region, where I'm also part of that. I am new to the organization. Many people are here for 20 years, 22 years, a long time. We have provinces in different places and regions across the world. And the province means each state. As of now, we have a province in Nagpur, one in Mumbai, one in Chennai, means Tamil Nadu, one in Ranchi, Jharkhand. Then we have set up one yesterday, day before in Hyderabad, which looks after the Telangana. Now we are going to start one in Pondicherry. Like that, we are trying to spread to various states in the country and set up a regional provinces. And in this, every province you find people who are committed to public cause. Nothing for interest of the person, but for the public cause. And where we have people from all walks of life, different community, different religion, different age groups, and different professionals, young, old, male, female, transgender, all are there. So it's a very interesting body. Each one committing himself or herself to do something for the public. And that joint partnership can actually make a huge impact and a huge difference. Last December, we had an international program. We had a biennial conference in Kerala. That was just 3 days after the Wayanad disaster. Since we had already fixed and participants had come, we could not call it off. But despite that, the Chief Minister of Kerala came and he spoke for almost 1.5 hours. And the World Malayali Council committed a 1 crore cash straight away to pay the money. And also agreed to set up more than 14-15 houses for the poor people. That was also appreciated. It's all done now. So this is the way this agency works. We have a contribution from each one. We work for some agency, that contribution comes in. It's a non-profit organization, so people spend their money. I went to Hyderabad the day before to set up the province there. I spend my own money. Nobody gives me. But they are all commitment. Now, this is what the body is. So hearing Dr. Amodaran, an expert in the field, I appreciate the main point he mentioned, that we are focusing now on the students, the youth, and also the panchayats. Since I was in the IPS for 35 years, I was in CBI and United Nations and all sort of CRPF and Bihar Kada, all those places. I have seen more than 50 disasters in my life, handled disasters. And finally, when I was the head of the National Disaster Response Force, Government of India, along with the Director General of Civil Defense, Director General of Home Guards, and Director General of Fire Services to Government of India. In this portfolio, we could see the hundreds of disasters, small, big, different types of disasters. But behind every disaster, though you call a natural disaster, I didn't find even single one as a natural disaster. It is caused by human beings. So there is a lot to do in the discussion of disaster, also in respect of global warming and carbon effect. There's a lot to do in that. So in that context, I found when you empower the youth of the place, men and women, when you empower the local persons, panchayat, you can make a huge difference. 2018, when the disaster took place in Kerala, Wayanad, somebody told the Chief Minister, so Chief Minister, I got a call from the Chief Minister's Secretary, can you come and meet the Chief Minister following day? That happened to be on August 15th. I said, he'll be busy with the flag hoisting and all this stuff. No, he's asked you to come at 9 o'clock. I took a flight. They sent me a ticket, went and met him, the Chief Minister of Kerala. I sat with him. He gave me 1.5 hours time in his office. I was alone with him. And I told him what happened in Dhubri, Assam, how the situation was handled, what happened in Uttarakhand, how the situation was handled. what happened in Chennai flood, how it was handled, what happened in Gujarat cyclone, what happened in Odisha cyclone, all examples I gave and I told him the lessons learned. And he took note of all, he called his secretary and took note of all the points, and 23 points I gave him. And in fact, he took initiative to implement also. One of them was empowering the panchayat. I said, instead of leaving it to the district collector and district administration sitting somewhere, if you can empower the local people, panchayat, so that panchayat empowerment made a huge impact, which you have seen in the 2019 disaster, a flood again. 2018, a lot of people died. 2019, nobody died. No, the impact is on the panchayat role. Panchayat comes up. They become the, I said, we have under the Disaster Management Act, we have a National Disaster Management Authority and a District Disaster Management Authority. I suggest even start a Panchayat Disaster Management Authority. Involve everybody there. There it's nothing called authority, but service. Each one has to put in their role. That actually made a difference. Now, it has not been formalized now, but he started in a few places. We can take it forward. What I'm trying to say is this initiative of what Mr. Damodaran said, Dr. Damodaran said, I really appreciate that point. World Malayali Council is with you. I'm so happy that we have more than 70 participants today in this gathering, and despite being late evening. And we, in World Malayali Council, since we have got the provinces across the country, and each province, we will definitely take the message and the ideas coming out of this dialogue, whatever is the take-home points, actionable points, we'll identify a few of them, and we will try and take it down to the grassroots level through the different provinces and units of the World Malayali Council. Thank you. Namaste. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now, may I request Sri N.S. Ajit, Chief General Manager of IRE Limited, Chavara, to offer their pledge.
Thank you, sir. Respected dignitaries and all those who have joined this noble initiative, it's a great honor to be part of this meaningful Earth Day celebration, jointly organized by the Green Energy Foundation, the World Malayalam Council, and IRL India Limited. We know Earth Day, observed globally on April 22nd, is a powerful reminder that the health of our planet is the foundation of our shared future. It's a day to raise awareness, to reflect, and most importantly, to act, because our environment can no longer wait for tomorrow's solutions. I'll just take a moment to introduce IRL, a pride of the nation. Established in 1950, IRL India Limited is a Government of India undertaking under the Department of Atomic Energy. IRL plays a pivotal role in the extraction and processing of rare earth minerals, resources that are vital for the nation's strategic sectors, including clean energy, electronics, defense, and advanced technologies. And at IRL, we draw from the earth. We are a mining company, and we draw from the earth its minerals, its energy, its abundance. And so we carry an even greater responsibility to give back, to restore and to sustain. And our vision is to be a significant contributor to the global clean energy mission by providing high quality performance enhancing materials and operating in a socially responsible manner. Reflects this deep commitment. And I have prepared a brief pledge. On this occasion, I will just read it out. I pledge to honor the earth in action, not just in words, by upholding sustainable mining practices and integrating eco-friendly innovations into our operations. I pledge to minimize our ecological footprint by improving energy efficiency, reducing emissions, and supporting the transition to green energy where wherever possible. I pledge to empower our teams and communities to embrace sustainability through awareness, training, and active participation in green initiatives. I pledge to support collaborative efforts like today's event, where organizations unite for the shared goal of environmental protection and a sustainable future. And most importantly, I pledge to live our vision, balancing industrial growth with a deep respect for nature and well-being of our future generations. Let this Earth Day be a turning point, a reminder that the responsibility to protect our planet lies with each of us, and together we can make a lasting difference. Let us nurture the earth, and it has nurtured us. And best wishes to this noble initiative. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. May I now request all others to mute their mics so that the next part of the proceedings of the webinar will be clearly audible for all. Okay, thank you. And with all your permission, I will, without loss of time, go ahead with the keynote presentation, which is expected to be completed within 8 minutes. But I need support from the background for moving my slides. It is a brief PowerPoint presentation. Dr. Ratnakumar, can I?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can actually move to the next. Yeah. Here, this is actually a question which I have heard several times over the past several years while I used to give talks to students, adults, professionals, and various other groups. Whenever you ask about the role of each one in protecting the environment, the question asked is, as an individual, can my planet protection actions make any difference? Then if you say that nobody can say that each one's action makes a clear difference, but put together many people or all the people that who are aware of the and the importance of caring for the nature, if they go into action, certainly there will be a difference. But many people hesitate. If my individual action doesn't make so much of a difference, why should I bother about this? The presentation is basically to find an answer for this question. Why? Next, please. Next slide. Yeah. This is just the, nobody is expected to bother about these numbers or importance, etc. I have just shown this slide to show that on Earth we are not alone. Not only that, I just somebody is speaking. Please close your mic. So there are actually this. I have the two tables on the left and right shows the faunal population as well as the floral population. So in the faunal population, 10. These are actually, these data are taken from the IUCN 2024 records. That is International Council Commission for Conservation of Nature, International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. It's very famous. And so 10 categories are actually put there. And we will find that out of the 10 categories, human being comes under the 9th category, which is actually the 10th is corals, which is having the least species population. Next is mammals, and under the mammals, we are only one. This is 6,736 species available. And like this, you find that the highest one is actually the category of insects. It actually runs to more than 1 million, and the total is actually 2.1 million. So we are actually such a speck, but we conquer the whole world and the whole planet and take away too much and give back very little. Same thing, the floral population also, this number is actually very much smaller because nobody could actually completely record all the plant wealth of the whole universe, whole Earth, even up to now. Even the latest record from the Kew Gardens or from other organizations like IUCN, just that again, the total is around, you will find it is around 26 or 2.6 million. And here again, many of these things are either food or medicine. Food or medicines for us and for our dress, for making shelters, homes, and so many other things for our daily use. So without all this variety, the large composition of such biodiversity, we cannot actually exist. This is actually one reason why actually think of keeping this biodiversity and keep on enriching it rather than going to deplete as much as possible. So this is one point that we should think. May I go to the next? This is just to show the ecological footprint. We generally speak of carbon footprint only, which is mostly attached to the energy production and use. The left you will see. Then you have actually what we call the land is actually giving shelter and housing. On that also there are footprints. Then forests give us lumber as well as paper. Then the farmland and pastures give us what you call sustenance, not only for us, but for animals as well. Then fisheries, again, oceans and rivers give fish, which again is one of the most important things. For Kerala alone, I'm told that 25% of our energy need for our human growth actually comes from sea-based or what you call the marine resources like fish and all. Next slide, please. I think come actually very interesting.
Slide open, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it is not opening. Actually, that was a very interesting slide I made. I will actually tell you what was actually meant in that slide. This is about how sustainably are we using the nature.
Sir, ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് sir. ഞാൻ എല്ലാവരെയും മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തേക്കട്ടെ.
Please, I have mute all of this.
എല്ലാരും മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ദമോദർ സാർ അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്താൽ
Sir,
Will unmute now.
yes.
So this is about the land surface that we have on Earth, of which 71% is actually habitable, 10% is glaciers, and 19% is barren. Of the 71% of habitable land surface, we have 46% of it going for agriculture, 38% as forest, 14% are shrubs, and 1% is water, and 1%, sorry, fresh water, and 1% is urban space. This is where the entire population actually reside, and where highest exploitation of natural resources and source of pollution enters. And of the 46% of the habitable land which is used for agriculture, you find that 77% is actually used for livestock and grazing, including feed production, and 23% are crops. The beauty or the fun of it is we get actually, for our growth, mainly what we need is protein and calories. Of this, you find that 63% of protein comes from plant food and 37% only from animals. On the calories, you find that 82% comes from plant, 18% from animal foods. And generally, we can say that 3/4 of the farmland is actually meant for livestock. And this actually produces, or rather gives us, only 37% of our protein requirement and only 18% of calories. So it is actually a little unsustainable thing, because the whole world is now more focused towards increasing non-vegetarian or animal food. This is the thing. Of course, these details I have taken, this data I have taken from Hannah Ritchie's book on Not the End of the World. So this is just to show that how unsustainably many resources we are using. Next slide, please. So we do agree that our planets have burden. And why is our Mother Earth not clean or green? Is because our planet is burdened in many ways. Only some I have listed: extracting materials beyond its ability to supply. Actually, now we are taking 12.5 tons per capita per year of material from the planet Earth. At this rate, people say that beyond 2050, there will not be even 1 gram of material to supply for anybody in the coming years. So we will have to actually reduce this consumption. Land, water, and air are polluted much beyond self-correction. Plastic pollution has endangered even the marine ecosystem. Microplastics have been detected in breast milk and even in the brain. Availability of potable water has been continuously shrinking due to irresponsible usage and discharge. Climate change is playing havoc with its resiliency, that is the planet's resilience. Wars and conflicts have been and are contributing heavily to global warming. Even now, several wars are actually going on in various parts of the world. Some we hear of, some we don't even hear. That's actually a major deterrent. Energy production and use have contributed almost 3/4 of global carbon emissions. Reuse, recycle, reduce is not yet the norm. We still hesitate to reuse, we still hesitate to recycle enough, and we still hesitate to say no to avoidable material usage. And there are many more. And the last slide, please. So what could you and I do to heal the harm? I have just listed only 10 points. First point is get into action. There is no meaning in discussing and discussing. Let us get into action. Look at your contribution to the ecological mess. Roughly find out your carbon footprint. Plan to offset it fully or partially. If you can't do it yourself, be ready to pay for those willing to offer the offset, like tree plantation. Suppose you travel by plane. So there is certain amount of carbon footprint attached to it. If you cannot plant a tree in your own compound or somewhere where you can access, there are many institutions which are doing this kind of activities. They can be paid some money so that they will do this compensation or offset for you. Plastic waste collection. This is something which we can actually do as a compensatory action, creating awareness among the public through various organizations and individuals. Be in a league with like-minded people and form or join an eco group. Either you can form your own eco group in your neighborhood, or you can join in some group which is already working actively. Influence policymakers and force them to act responsibly. Tell the people not to vote for those who don't care for unburdening the planet. That is development. That we talk about development that will not burden the planet any further. This we should tell. Actually, in Kerala, when the Panchayati Raj elections came, at that time, Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishat or KSSP put a demand to the local Panchayat election contestants. They said that we will arrange a platform and you all please come and say what all environmentally friendly activities you will do or what social good you are going to do. So many of them actually came and explained what they will do, and it seemed that affected the result as well. Those who actually vehemently and vocally committed that they would actually take care of this thing if they are elected and if they are coming to power, probably got more votes. So that kind of thing now we can repeat everywhere. In every election, we can say that we will not vote for people who don't care for our own existence. So watch the result of your actions and that of your group's activities. Change your lifestyles, innovate new solutions. That is actually the kind of project now our Green Energy Forum IRE project is now doing in Kollam and Alappuzha districts. Even without your efforts, one thing that we have to remember is that the planet will continue to hurtle. ഈ നമ്മൾ മനുഷ്യരില്ലെങ്കിലും നമ്മൾ ശ്രമിച്ചില്ലെങ്കിലും ഈ പ്ലാനറ്റ് ഇനിയും കറങ്ങിക്കൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കും എത്രയോ വർഷങ്ങൾ. പക്ഷേ അതിൽ നിന്ന് പലരെയും ഇപ്പോൾ തന്നെ പല സ്പീഷീസും എക്സ്റ്റിങ്ക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്, അതായത് നാമാവശേഷമായിട്ടുണ്ട്, നശിച്ചു പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ ഇനി അങ്ങോട്ട് നമ്മളൊരു ലിഫ്റ്റിൽ കയറുമ്പോൾ ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചതിൽ കൂടുതൽ ആൾ കയറി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ലിഫ്റ്റ് പൊങ്ങില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ആരെങ്കിലും ഒന്നോ രണ്ടോ പേര് ഇറങ്ങേണ്ടി വരും. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ നോക്കിയാൽ ഒരുപക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ മനുഷ്യവർഗമായിരിക്കും ഇത്തരം സംഗതികൾ താല്പര്യമെടുത്തില്ലെങ്കിൽ ആദ്യം തന്നെ ഓഫ് ലോഡ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നത്. ഈ ഒരു ബോധത്തോടു കൂടി നമ്മൾ ആക്ഷൻ പ്ലാനുകൾ തയ്യാറാക്കുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ തീർച്ചയായും നമുക്ക് വിജയമുണ്ടാവും. അതാണ് എനിക്ക് ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഗെറ്റ് ഇൻ ടു ആക്ഷൻ എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഈ കീനോട്ടിൽ എനിക്ക് പറയാൻ. നന്ദി. Now the other speakers, let me invite the first to speak is Ms.Sonai Desai, who is the managing editor of ESG News.Earth. This is a comprehensive news site on climate solutions and environmental sustainability. And she is a prolific writer and editor, and probably she is also contributing to many international journals. She is the director of strategy for the Right Canvas, which is again a journalist for the Writers Forum, which is very prominent in India with its HQ in Mumbai. And she also advocates for what I should say, a green planet at various fora nationally and internationally. May I request Sonal Desai to make her presentation.
Thank you so much, everyone. Good evening and greetings from Right Canvas and ESG News.Earth. So it's a very humbling experience, basically, listening to all of you talking equally passionately and reading out the pledges, which actually mean a lot. Basically not in a doable fashion, that this is what we want to do and this is how we are. So it is talking about impact, and that is something that we have been speaking about right from our conception. That is right canvas to ESG News.Earth, where we thought that impact stories were lacking. We cannot survive only on strategies. We have to give hope to people. And that is one of the reasons we decided that yes, we would come and listen to all of you, learn from each other, and pave the way forward. So if I have to address all of you, may I have the liberty to play a quiz? And I'll be happy if everyone can participate. Do I have your permission, sir?
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to put the questions in the chat column and everyone can answer.
That I think because many people will be using mobile phones, and I don't know whether everybody will be able to watch. Maybe you
Okay.
can just ask and one or
Or
two.
if you want, I can read it out. I can read out the questions. Sounds good?
Yeah.
So which is the renewable energy source most prevalent across the globe? Is it wind, hydropower, solar, or geothermal?
Somebody respond to?
Solar.
I'm afraid it's hydropower. Globally, it is hydropower, which captures around 28%. So how many globally, this will be of interest to students. How many global green and clean energy jobs were reported in 2023?
I think many would answer that. Absolutely no idea. Nobody ever thought about that kind of a division.
It was about almost 16.2 million.
Oh,
In India itself, if my memory serves me right, it was more than 3.5 million. And it starts from the lowest level right up to the highest hierarchy. Okay, this is a simple one, a true or false one. Renewable energies anticipate to surpass coal as the largest source of electricity generation by early 2025. Is it true or false?
25 or 26, I don't know, but very soon it will surpass.
I think if we this is my submission, that if we follow the trends after the conclusion of 2028 in Dubai, we are seeing a shift. And I believe RE is expected to grow around 7,300 gigawatt during 2023 to 2028. And these are global figures. So contextually, where I'm coming from, and this is at the cost of sounding repetitive to what the August gentlemen have said. We have no way out. Renewable energy absolutely is the main source, or it's the go-to, not just for our survival. As a mother, I keep thinking, is this the legacy I want to leave behind for my child? And then it's from there you have to go one step forward and then say, how can I do this? But even renewable energy, and we are talking about carbon, so like everybody has mentioned, even renewable energy leaves behind carbon footprint. Is it an absolute kind of response to being carbon neutral? I want a response, yes or no. I mean, I want to make this engaging. Yeah, Mr. Rajendran says it's no, you are right. Because right from the time, okay, we develop say photovoltaic cells to the wind turbines, okay, to the end of life, what we call waste to landfill. Everything is also applicable, okay, to the renewable energy equipment. So what do you think could be the way forward?
About sustainable energy sources rather than renewables, since most of the renewables are not sustainable.
Mhm. Right. So new technologies, and here I bring in the technology part, where I have, like, people are talking about a honeycomb structure for the wind turbines. Okay. And people are also talking about, it's a new concept, but about floating solar panels supported by the wind. So such kind of hybrid ecosystems, we believe at Right Canvas and ESG News will take the way forward. How many of you believe that? Yeah, it is engineering, innovation, and absolutely, Mr. Rajendran.
I think it can. Okay.
Sorry, I can't hear you. And this has to be ably supported by policies and regulations. So one thing alone for me or us at Right Canvas is not enough. It has to be a collective effort. How like how Mr. Damodaran used or presented in his slides, that it is a collective efforts. One, like, the onus should not be on the government themselves. It should be on all the stakeholders. How is it possible to bring the stakeholders together? Like, not forgetting that every with a purpose, there also has to be a profit. Bring them on to, like, such kind of forums do, I believe, provide a lot of synergies that are required to brainstorm, to come together, bring out solutions. First address and acknowledge that yes, there's a problem. I think I would like to end here.
Okay. Thank you. And probably during after all the presentations, there will be a discussion forum. At that time, some of these questions should be re-thrown for discussion. So thank you so much. And may I now invite Engineer Sarto Rajendran for his presentation. Engineer Sarto is an engineer with lifelong commitment to environment, stays in Chennai, and he retired as Joint Director of Municipal Administration of Tamil Nadu, and he is also currently the Correspondent and Managing Trustee of Guardian Foundation Chennai, which is actually doing a lot of humanitarian things, and which is also an adjunct to the NIT Calicut alumni, which is actually old REC Calicut alumni, where he is again a very senior leader. And so it's Chennai chapter. He has been working for a number of years. And he is also, in the earlier years, he was associated with the Chennai, what you call the Madras Snake Park, where Whittaker and scientist Dr. Rajendran were actually very famously known several decades ago. He still, that is, Rajendran is his father, and he is still associated with this snake park, which is one of the great environmental study centers of, let us say, more than half a century back. So, Sarto, please, you have around 5 to 8 minutes that you wanted. Please go ahead.
Group relay.
Sarto, any problem with your
നേരത്തെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
In fact, in between he answered also. I think he's right now in Tirunelveli, and he was telling there is heavy lightning and rain. Apparently, the line is interrupted. So I will, let us not waste time. I'll currently move over to the next speaker.
Mr. Jayaraman, he wants to leave by 8 o'clock. I think he'll be given.
Okay. Dr. C. Jayaraman will actually speak next. Dr. Jayaraman is the Managing Director of EQUINOCT, which is an NGO working exclusively on very innovative projects related to environment, especially of coastal problems. And he's a Fulbright Fellow who has actually studied behavior aspects of energy conservation. And probably one of the very few experts in that area. And he was also when PCRA started its Kerala unit, he was the first person to come out of Cochin refinery on deputation and start setting up that unit in Kerala for, I think, 4 or 5 years. He was very actively propagating the ideas of energy conservation, especially in the oil sector for those years. Now, Dr. Jayaraman.
Thank you. Thank you all dignitaries, especially to my guru, Prof.V.K. who actually pushed me into this field of energy right from my college days. So since we don't have much time, I'm just starting directly. The motto or the logo of this year's Earth Day is our power, our planet. And I think we missed out a very important word, our responsibility. Even though Dr. Ratnakumar has indicated that in his speech, and Dr. V.K. also said that what is our responsibility. I think that's where we need to start from. And I'm just giving or if you're asking me what is my pledge, I think my pledge is that me and my team is now working with the community, trying to understand what their problems are and trying to solve them. The pledge is to work with community, and as indicated by Professor V.K. it's not easy to solve problems alone. So I'll just move on to it, what we have been doing later. But why I'm talking about responsibility is this graph. It very clearly shows that 73.2% of the energy needs of the human beings are causing the climate change or the global greenhouse gas emissions. So we have the responsibility because we are the persons who are causing this climate change, or we live in this time of Anthropocene, or that's already been proven and accepted by the scientists that the climate change is human-made or it is anthropocentric. So that is why we have to talk about our responsibility. And unless and until we understand that it is our responsibility, we'll be just talking and we'll not be working alone. So I want to quote a couple of decades ago, Dr. Ivan Illich has written a book called Celebration of Awareness. And he said that I and many others call upon you to celebrate our joint power. Yes, today also we are talking about power. And he also said that we have to discover what we must do to use the mankind's power to create the humanity. Yes, that is the responsibility, that we have to work together to understand what power we have. We have already understood that we have made the damage, but we have the power to correct it. And we have to be responsibly aware of our personal ability to express our true feelings and gather together. That's how, and that's why such meetings are very important. We are now sitting together to gather together all our knowledge, responsibility, and thing. And that is why these kinds of knowledge building or celebrations of joining together is becoming more important. I'm just focusing on just one single issue. Sonal was talking about hydropower. Yes, hydropower is one of the worst thing that the climate change is going to face today because of the sea level rise. And people who are affected the most is the coastal people who are living on the coast. And there are some data showing that India and China are going to be the worst affected by climate change because of this hydropower, or the power of the oceans, which is going to come into every one of our house very soon. And it is affecting the marginalized communities the most, and especially in places like Kerala, where the coastal communities, the population density is very, very high, 5,000 to 6,000 people per square kilometer. This has become one of the most important things that we need to understand, and we need to find solutions. And one of the major reasons is the sea level rise. So I'm just going into what are the problems of a sea level rise. It's the saltwater intrusion, and it is affecting the human health. There are people who are living in the water. Sometimes I don't know whether we can talk about that. We have to call them as amphibians, because 365 days they are underwater. 6 to 7 months they are underwater because of tidal flooding, and another 3-4 months they are underwater because of rainwater, the monsoon rain, and other floodings. So they are living in water, and the intake of salt water through drinking, affecting drinking water, their food preparation, everything. And we have seen many people who are affected by the health, even the children. You can see one child playing in this dirty salt water. And salt, cloud, and moisture rooms are affecting all that furniture that is in their house. So tidal flooding is one problem that we have been studying for the last 3-4 years, and it has not yet been recognized as a disaster, because it affects the people every day. And sometimes there's a disaster can be there only once in a blue moon, or you can be included in a disaster. We have been talking to people who works in insurance and asked them whether you can give a compensation to tidal flooding. They said that it is not a disaster, it happens every day. So that is the problem. And health impacts are so many: hypertension, skin diseases, diarrhea, increased risk of pregnancy complications. And the people have to move away. They are becoming refugees. The people are becoming forced to move away from these places. And this is some of the photographs that we have taken. This is the house of Narayanan, who lives under 365 days. His water is almost like this. His children has never played on the ground, because always there is water. This is the condition of houses. Even the roofs are getting affected because salt water has gone up to the roof and corroding the reinforcement there. And you can see the plight of the houses there. And this is some of the photographs I just want to see. And this is a house in Kumbalangi, one of the most famous places in tourist spots in Kerala. And this person, the Jose, he said that last year I had only 1 stone. This year I had put 2 stones. And I'm sure the next year I had to put 3 stones to walk into my house. So this is one problem that I just wanted to highlight. There are many. And what we are going to do is, we are now running an IEEE project, IEEE Smart Village project, which is a small contribution from our side on both the adaptation and mitigation efforts, a community resource efficiency hub for coastal women entrepreneurs. Why coastal women? Why such a project? Because the first and foremost thing that you need to do is to create a livelihood for the people who are affected. We know that we are not going to change this climate change in the coming couple of decades. No renewable energy can solve all these problems soon, as Sonal has rightly mentioned. But what we can do, we have to find out some kind of solutions for their livelihood. And that's what we are doing. We are joining 25 women entrepreneurs or enterprises, or 125 women entrepreneurs, or more than 1,000 families who are affected by this IEEE project, which is addressing 3 major pillars. One is energy efficiency through pooling and sharing of conservation and decentralized low carbon energy transition. Second is an enterprise building. We are trying to help these women to become an enterprise, not just a unit, and also building capacity of these through education and training. This is one project that we are doing too. In this project, there are 3 major components. One is a solar-based deep freezer for helping them to store and procure things and store it in one way. Second is a solar dryer. And third is electric autos for transportation. So we are trying to reduce the carbon footprint of every product and trying to give them an additional thing for the marketing, saying that this is a greener product than what you normally get in the market, and trying to get them into an international market. Now they are confined to a locals, and that is the major project. We call it as Community Resource Efficiency Hub. And our dream, I'm not taking much time here, our dream is to expand it into a little more thing. And we are trying to work with different groups and communities. The CRE Hub, or the Community Resource Efficiency Hub, is a combination of IEEE ISV. Resilient Destination Foundation is a non-profit organization, and Community Resource Center is another non-profit organization at this location. And second one is, we are trying to build a community climate action lab with the support of Dakshin Consultancy, ASR and RDF and CRC. And second is a saltwater resistant material lab. This is something, one of our engineers from Kerala herself has produced a saltwater resistant cement under a CSIR lab, which is called Structural Engineering Research Center in Chennai, but it has never been deployed so far. They have a patent for the last 5 or 6 years, but not been deployed. So how to connect the researchers to the community is the next thing that what we are going to do. And we are working with the Energy Management Center to build a sustainable energy center and a digital resource hub for these climate resources. This is just to give you an example of what we are practically trying to do, working with the communities as a part of our pledge to find some solutions. We really understand that planting trees is not at all enough to solve any of the problems. If you travel from Kerala to Delhi one way, in your lifetime, you will not be able to offset that carbon by planting trees. So we need to work on, as I indicated in the chat, it is not just the supply side solutions. We need to work on the demand side also to try to reduce the carbon emissions. So thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. And I think I have another program at 8, but I'll try to continue as long as possible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jayaraman. Now our Sarto Rajendran had a power emergency there. And right now he has something temporary on, which will remain only for another 3 or 4 minutes. So you have already been introduced, Sarto. Can you come online and speak for a few minutes? Sarto. Sarto. I think still not reachable.
Go to the next person.
Okay. So I will now request Dr. TR Vinod. He's actually the program director of climate change studies, environmental science, as well as waste manage, etc. at the Center for Environmental Development, which is headquarters in Thiruvananthapuram, with its units, major units in Bhubaneswar and Hyderabad. So he is actually heading all the research and consultancy in these areas of the center. And without much introduction, because I have seen him to be one of the most brilliant environmental presenters, apart from brilliant researcher, because I am also associated with the CED as its board chairman. So I found him to be very informed and with a lot of data through research. Yeah, please come on. Dr. Vinod, you can start speaking.
Yeah. Good evening, respected dignitaries. Today I'll talk about, because we all talk about, because every year day or because we have a lot of celebrations, we talk. Today I am talking about Kerala's climate crisis. I will not say change, because God's own country and we need to act urgently. So I think the slide is visible to all.
Yeah.
So before that, the last Earth Day, because the theme was planet versus plastic. How much plastic we reduce? Because there is enough plastic to round the Earth, circle the Earth 400 times. Because we need a lot more awareness on this aspect as well. So why we are concerned climate change or climate crisis, everybody knows, but most of this audience are students. So I just put the slides just because these slides can be circulated as well. And if you come to India, because every year is the hottest year now, because the last 1 decade, I just put because now a new term will come, climate migrants. By 2050, because a lot of climate migrants, I just put the figures because just like any other migrants, war migrants, or the climate migrants will be a lot of issue. And India and Kerala also, a lot of impacts are there. I just listed many of these impacts and a lot of losses are there because this, I'm not going in detail. Kerala got its own country because the 2018 flood, if you look at the satellite image and all the rainfall distribution throughout, because it's there, and even the last year 2024, because there were 570 mm of rainfall in just 48 hours in many parts of the state, and because these are all crises happened, and sea level rise is another issue. The prediction by 2050 is that Bombay may not be there, and Kerala, many of the coastal taluks will be under sea. So here comes the importance of energy, because renewable energy, this year's theme is very important, because the energy production and consumption, because in India, if you look at, and India's greenhouse gas emission is also, because energy is one of the major sector, electricity and heat. And if you look at the Kerala greenhouse gas emission in Kerala, 79% of state gross emission is from energy or related sector, which include transports and industries and many other things. And we could only, because sequester minus 10.26 metric ton carbon dioxide equivalent. So one of the, I stress major issue, one of them is waste management. If you look at the waste generation in India, it's about 0.6 kilogram per person per day, and it will be 0.9 kilogram by 2050. And another, in the food waste is a major, around 30% of waste, food waste is coming, because we are wasting 30% of our groceries. And if food waste is a country, it's overpower India and comes in third place. And waste management, because we are even open dumping and open burning is the, and if you look at the Kerala, the waste generation, 3.7 million tons annually generated. I will say that state yet to have a successful model of waste management. Many of you may not be agree with me, but this is the reality. In the middle, I have put a lot of decentralized plans in Kerala. I'm not sure how many of these are working, but still only 30 to 40% of waste can be processed by these decentralized facilities. So if you look at the top 10 clean cities of India, Indore is the first, and Kerala cities are coming in the above 200 ranks. So this is the situation now. And plastic waste, of course. Are we eating plastics or poison every day? We have to ask, because of the microplastic. Otherwise, we have to stop eating salt, common salt, even fish. Common salt we have to avoid, because this is the situation. And the plastic, menace of plastic waste is growing day by day. And there are many international programs to reduce, and there are laws to ban single-use plastic. We have to find alternatives. I'm not saying eradication of plastic, because it's a life-saving system as well. But wise use of plastic, and we have to look at our carbon footprint. We have to reduce our carbon footprint wherever possible. So one way, because I will put 3 or 4 ways. One is the energy conservation. As an individual, as a state, as an organization, we should use energy efficient appliances. These are all common, but we should practice it in our day-to-day life. India, of course, we are raising our solar energy. Then simple solution. Some of the simple solution is solar street light without any battery, and because then solar lantern. If every house has one solar lantern, it can save, because it can be an alternative. It can save many of these energy conservations. Then another important area is water conservation. Water everywhere, but 54% of India's people are living without pure drinking water. So we have to fix leaks promptly, install water efficient fixtures, water efficient, because water rating, we should buy the products, water rating should be there. Even virtual water, I'm not going that, but we should reuse and reduce our water use as well as. And waste management, of course, because there are many programs, circular economy and waste to wealth. So as an individual, we should reduce our waste generation, and we should bring our own reusable shopping bags. Many ways are there. So reduce, reuse, replace, recycle, redesign. These are some of the ways we can do. So transportation, of course, transportation, we should use public transportation because the high-speed rail is the best energy saving, although it is not there. If you are going for electric vehicles, then hybrid vehicle is the best. Research shows that. So I'll say switch to eco-friendly vehicles. Then building consumes more than 40% of energy consumption. So green building, it should be, because our Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, they are showing an example by doing the entire building is a green building. Now coming to certain things, because we always say plantation, this thing, but I will say carbon management, in which afforestation or restoration is one of the way. Then grassland, then agriculture management is very important, because although we talk about carbon neutral agriculture, do we ready to change? Because tilling or not tilling, there are many, because agriculture, we are emitting a lot of carbon. Then comes the blue carbon, which is very, because emerging, and it can be 2.67 times more carbon sequestration than afforestation, and 10 times more than grassland. These are all study results. So blue carbon, including the mangroves, salt marshes, seagrasses, these are all effective tools. Because now I come to digital carbon footprint, which is very important, because a minute of internet in 2020, because so we have to look at how much carbon is emitted by our digital footprint. So many Google and many companies, they are coming out because they are coming for carbon neutral scenarios, but digitization a blessing, or because that we have to think of. Because by 2025, end of this year, digital emission will reach over 7% of total carbon emissions. So this because email or because every time you check the email or things, how much carbon. So we have to be very careful and be wise use of things and be a carbon neutral citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vinod. Now, I think
Sarto Rajendran is available.
Available, okay. Sarto, can you please come in? Sarto?
He is muted.
Would you-
Actually, he is available, but okay, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some problem with the charging.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, Dr. V.K.
We have already introduced you to the audience. And
Yes.
so, make the presentation.
Okay. So I will just make a brief presentation on this very important function. First of all, I would like to place my appreciation, and this is a wonderful theme and idea which is there for decades, but it is evolving over a period of time. I will explain my experience in two contexts. One is I was the Chief Operating Officer of ILFS in solid waste management in the municipalities, in Tamil Nadu and in Bangalore city and in Bangalore city. Okay, in Tamil Nadu, 6 corporations I had dealt with. I had the unique opportunity to sit on the other side. That is, I was also working as a joint director in the municipal administration between 91 to 96. So I had very good exposure and experience in dealing with the real filth and waste, in municipalities. So roughly, I was dealing with Trichy, Erode, Udmalpet, Metropolitan and Kunnur, corporations. And it was very interesting because each town and city has different, like Dr. Vinod said, the waste generated is roughly between 0.5 to 1 kg per head per capita per day. So we were dealing with something like 300 tons to 20 tons. For example, Kunnur is 20 tons per day. That was what we are processing. But in the real processing, the ultimate product we had is only the first stage. We are only primarily, sorry.
Discussion.
Sarto could have done it on mobile.
Newton now, see. I think we can have the interaction, sir. പുള്ളിപ്പോയില്ല അതിനകത്തില്ല.
Go for the next item.
Sir, no, he is not in ഇതിലില്ല, ഗ്രൂപ്പിലില്ല ഇപ്പൊ. ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആൻസർ സെഷൻ വല്ലതും ചെയ്യാം സർ.
Hello, this is actually the discussion stage we are starting, where people can actually ask either questions or add any other missing aspects that other speakers have actually left that could be added. But take on 1.5 minutes per head.
Dr. Venugopal Reddy raise hand.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. One question to Sonal ji and one to Dr. Vinod. Sonal ji, that is, correct me if I'm wrong. I understand 3.2 million, that is the people recruited in India. Now, could you please tell us the progress report? What have they accomplished with their efforts so far? That is for you, that question. Then, Dr. Vinod, you talked about I assume that you must be having that solar lantern in your home. How much does it cost and where is it available? Thank you.
Yeah. Can Vinod answer first?
You have to unmute, Vinodji.
Actually, it's less than 1,000 rupees because 500 too, because it's available in Amazon also, because nowadays it's very cheap. You'll get 300 onwards. Online, but you'll get various type of solar lantern. It's very useful.
So I assume that you already have.
Yeah,
you
I
already have
am
it
also
at your
using. I am also using that.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Ronaldji?
You have to unmute, Sonalji. You're muted.
The jobs could start as an intern. Say, for example, Right Canvas, my company, can invite interns and they can scale up to my level or beyond. I'm just giving you, and I'm an MSME, okay, a registered MSME. All right. From here, so that can be the progress, say, in an MSME. If you look at the SMB segment, okay, there they are looking for analysts because SMBs, and if you have seen the SIDB report. Okay, those are the ones who are the most in need, the MSMEs and the SMBs, because they want to get into sustainability and ESG, but there is nobody to handhold them. So even if you look at the vast amount of registered or organized and unorganized MSME and SMB segment, I mean, can we visualize the kind of skill sets that are required and the skill gap that we keep talking about? Am I
No,
answering the question?
No, I just wanted to know 3.2 million people, what kind of accomplishments already they have accomplished?
Okay, so I'll give you one example. That is, if we look at BRSR, okay, that is the mandate that has been registered by the SEBI for listed companies. Okay, now BRSR is an equivalent of compliance or regulatory norms, okay, by other countries. This is for India. Now, if you have kind of, people who are, say, ESG experts, because this is not just about tick boxing, about greenwashing. Like somebody mentioned that, you have carbon credits, okay, even if you plant a tree or something, but there is something that you have to go beyond. So if you look at the scale at which it can be, or how many people have, like, accomplished whatever, so maybe that percentage might be too far too few. But if you look at, like, how many people actually want to come into it, I think the millennials are leading us on.
So I understand as it is, we don't have any data about the progress they have made, the accomplishments already.
There is no data as such, if you ask me. But if you look at any of the LinkedIn, or if you look at any of the HR sites, okay, who are kind of, advertising for ESG or sustainability experts, the profiles are very clear on what is required. From there, then, like, it depends on where you want to reach and how far a company that you joined is serious enough for ESG and sustainability. So do they want you to tick box? And we have come across of late, even amongst the top 5, like, who are being blacklisted for certain things. So at this stage, as you and I speak, there's a lot of rough elements that are coming in, and there's no clarity. So if I tell you something, I don't think it would be fair.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other interventions? Any other questions or comments?
അഗ്രികൾച്ചറിൽ കൂടെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈ കാർബൺ എമിഷൻ കൂടുന്നത്?
കേട്ടില്ല.
അഗ്രികൾച്ചറിൽ കൂടെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഈ കാർബൺ കൂടുന്നതെന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഒരു സംശയം.
Agricultural.
Because, sir, can I answer?
Yeah, please. Okay, you can.
Because our agriculture system is that we expose the soil by plowing and tilling. We expose the soil for rot. Soil organic carbon will emit. And the use of fertilizers, nitrous and other fertilizers through which greenhouse gas emit. So the carbon neutral agriculture means the soil should not be exposed. Always there should be some vegetative cover. There are many technologies out there. And even without tilling also you can cultivate. Even India also, many Tamil Nadu Agriculture University and many other places it's there. Because, but the acceptance to the farmers or even agriculture officers of these technologies, because I used to take classes, lot of classes, around 300 classes for agriculture officers and farmers. But the acceptance is because they think that if you expose the soil for 2 or 3 weeks, then only the crop production will be more. There are certain misconceptions. Hope I answered the question. Thank you.
പക്ഷേ എങ്കിൽ പോലും ഈ അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ അവിടെ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ കുറെ ഓക്സിജൻ അവിടേക്ക് വരുന്നില്ലേ സാർ? കുറെ കാർബൺ വലിച്ചെടുത്തതിന് ശേഷം ഓക്സിജൻ പുറത്തേക്ക് വിടുന്നില്ലേ ഈ അഗ്രികൾച്ചറിൽ ഉണ്ടാവുന്ന സസ്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം?
Sir, I am talking with the scientific data. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Venugopalji, there is also another aspect to it. in agriculture, there is some energy use. Most of the time, this energy is for pumping water for irrigation and so many other things. So there are many ways of now what we call newer technologies where solar energy is actually introduced into it for where there is no water to produce water as well as produce electricity and use. So such things actually reduce the carbon footprint of agriculture. So from the biological side, what Dr. Vinod has said, plus these things, all these things, there are a lot of experiments going on in India as well as in many other places. Similarly, reducing the quantum of water required will automatically reduce energy required. So it's a very complex thing, which is actually a lot of innovations going on in even in India as well as in US. So technology levels differ, but we cannot actually correctly say what is actually the optimal solution for this, because the whole world is now experimenting on that. So I think your question should be an eye-opener for others who are actually working in this area or others who would like to work in this area to find a correct answer and contribute to it. Thank you. So if there are no other questions, I think we will close. We were supposed to close by 8:15. We're very sorry that Er.Sarto Rajendran couldn't complete because of power problems in the temporary place where he is now in another town. So that is a problem, but we are sorry about that. And so may I now request Professor P.O.J. Lebba, our leader, was also principal of TKM Engineering College for such a long time, I think around 17 years, and is with many engineers in the energy field, as well as in various other fields, administration, management, are his students, and they're very probably senior most among this group now who are assembled here. So, Professor P.O.J. Lebba.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
വീഡിയോ ഒന്ന് ഓൺ ചെയ്യാൻ സാറല്ലേ സാർ?
Okay.
Okay. Now I am visible. Is it so?
Yes.
Okay, distinguished guests, participants. I have great pleasure to propose a vote of thanks to the persons who took part in this seminar. I will say it has gone to the level of an international level, I should say, because the presentations were so unique, so brilliant, and very useful to the public. We had Dr. P.M. Nair, IPS, retired DGP, is President of the World Malayali Council, India region. And we had N.S. Ajit, Chief General Manager, IRE Chava, Ms.Sonai Desai, Managing Director, ESG News.Earth, and Engineer Er.Sarto, of course, we could not listen to him, unfortunately, but he tried his best to make his presentation. And Dr.Jayaraman, Managing Director, EQUINOCT, Kochi, and Dr. Vinod, Program Director, Climate Change Studies and settled in Trivandrum. And also, many people participated in the questions and answers. They expressed their views. So, but in general, what I would like to say is these presentations are so brilliant. I don't know which one is good. I don't know. It's better. I can't say. Every presentation was excellent, especially starting with VKD. And it is very useful to the participants. The students are participating, teachers are participating, and many other members are participating in this seminar or colloquium. I particularly thank VKD and Dr. Ratnakumar for making this special arrangements and getting these top people for this meeting. I don't know how they managed to get these top experts in making this presentation. So because the time is not there, I do not want to say anything further about each presentation. Actually, each presentation requires some further explanations. But anyway, we are thankful to the people who have participated in this and gave their ideas to the general public, useful to the participants. So once again, I thank all the participants on behalf of the organizing committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So, Dr. Ratnakumar, you can probably call the meeting as closed. So,
Okay. Anyway, thank you very much. As Syllabus are told, the presentation were excellent with the statistics, and it is very clear. And we hope that also the pledges are also very excellent, because each organizations have taken the pledge to save the environment and Earth. So I think we will stop this.
okay, thank you.
No, very happy to, very excellent. And a wonderful presentation. That's a profound, professional, experienced, and really something we can contribute. I've taken a few points, and in my continued activity with social cause, and along with World Malayali Council, we'll connect with connect with the speakers and see how we can work together. And 100% sure we'll be working together from the ideas which came up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
India.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Wish-
Good night.
Thank you. Namaskaram to all of you.